Being live streamed. There we go. Fantastic.
Oh, I'm trying. I think I had the character name wrong.
Oh wow, the stream is only showing one person at a time. That's not what I
Oh
want.
no, Gene Parmesan. Okay,
Gene Parmesan, right?
edit.
Stream. How do I play to do all the stuff? That's so weird. Oh, I have it set on multi-speaker view, which I think
Oh, okay.
multi-speaker view is cool when you're watching it, but not when you're streaming it.
Sounds good, Ben. Some of the what used to be like giant Zoom calls have now become webinars for the like showing up for racial justice work because
Oh,
people are activated,
oh, cool.
which is good.
Yeah.
So we have like thousands of people on webinars, and but we finally last week got them to stop like um spotlighting us, or we figured out a way to have us spotlighted and not have to see our own faces the whole time. Just be like, I already am looking at 1K participants. Like that's already nerve-wracking enough. Like it's been wild.
Hmm.
Part of me is like, I really wish you had showed up before the elections.
Oh,
But
jeez.
Yeah, I
you know
realize.
what? We still need you.
Glad you. The best time to have shown up would have been
Yeah, you're right.
oh
I mean, we
years.
always tell people you're right on time.
But
We do need you.
would have been nice. Would have been nice.
Still do need you.
Yeah. Anyway, back to where nothing ever goes wrong and everything's okay. The Silt versus.
I mean,
Oh, sorry, we are streaming. Sorry. Hi, showing up
Oh,
for
that's
justice. We
great.
love you.
Beginning of session. Boom. There we go. Keep it as a recap. Yes, that's me. That's my job.
yay.
Where's my recap? There it is. Session 22. Went to this, yeah, went to the floating market to make sure the sleepless warden was doing okay. Everything was a lot more organized and very polite because the warden was there. More corporate sponsors. There's a Jolly Crunch Tooth boat now, and Opal Gray is the new gate person who is a Crunch Toother. There's a kids zone. There's watchtowers, and the warden is sitting next to the gate with Opal. Went to visit Salesa, who gave someone named Carl, Sergeant Carl, a business card to Ren. Tried to get Zeph to get into a grandfather clock, which he wisely declined. Um, Mog's bucket of tripe was singing a folk song to Hugh, and Sebastian was convinced that something had to be done, tried to get Opal to sacrifice Mog to the warden. No, Mog's fine, just doesn't have a soul. It's fine. Um, but yeah, you got a mini assignment from Opal to find someone to sacrifice to refresh the warden for the floating market.
Oh, jeez.
Someone who is someone who's interested in security and keeping things safe. Also, why Mog wasn't a good choice because Mog's interested in cooking and selling things and not necessarily protecting stuff. Oh yeah, our dice roller. There's a new dice roller linked on the info tab. I think alternate roller, the roll dice with friends because roll with me is still down, sadly. um, After that, we did a journey move to towards the Skyward Sprawl and visited the last evolution of the water-bitten child, where all the animals had a cute filter on their faces. There's a faint electrical current in the area that make your feet go numb. There's bodies clustered around the central node, and one more crawling towards it. And all your senses feel a little bit delayed because the water-bitten child is absorbing your attention. But you got the Skyward Sprawl. Hugh got a new book, Reaching to Heaven, Using Architecture to Defeat the Gods by Lucien Breton. You met up with a gang, Ezekiel's gang outside of the Slag King. who are getting ready to assault the tower again, talk them down for a bit and went to investigate yourself before they threw themselves at the new cult. Ren went talking to bodies and got themselves a clue, which was on the sheet. And the sheet says, was it rebirth? No, I think it was a twisty, yeah, it was a twisted, rusty, branching pruning shears. Weird, like metal.
Oh yeah. Ew. Love
Uh,
it.
Zeph went looking for a power source, and Hugh went just looking around. Y'all wound up in the lower levels at the car park, where there's a giant. I wrote a really good description. What was it? There's an empty elevator beckoning beyond a pile of flesh, sacrifices leaping to their deaths to become rusted steel and concrete, and a secret room with a one-way mirror that the Institute used to observe the process. Yeah, so people are throwing themselves from the roof, falling through this weird mouth thing, getting crushed into the pile of flesh, and the flesh is slowly transforming into the concrete, which is building the building. And the Institute had a little observational room to watch everything. Not creepy at all.
Everything's fine.
Our wishes were get a journey move set up for Hugh, what to do about Skyward Sprawl, discover why Grover sucks, and more Hope and Morty.
I think that one was mine.
I think so too. Our current assignments are the Skyward Sprawl. Everything's open. We have 4 clues. The 3 questions and opportunities are complexity 4, where is the hollowed corpse of the Sprawl's saint interred? Complexity 6, why is the Sprawl growing? And complexity 8, how can the schism between the Sprawl and the Slide King be healed? I feel like you have a good answer for the 6 already, but you are not required to do that. Then there's the miraculous clinic of the bleeding witness. We've answered a couple of those. The remaining 2 are either they're both complexity 4, which outlawed faith poses the greatest threat, or who is secretly funding the unsanctioned work of the clinic. And then, of course, there is Godfeed. No action on Godfeed yet, except for the barrel of tripe. The questions there are, what is the secret to this facility's success, and what is its critical flaw? And why should some of these slaughterhouses stock be seized? Both of those are complexity 6. You also have 8 clues on the conspiracy, which means the conspiracy will come into play when there's an open slot for a mission. So here we go.
I'm sure everything's gonna be fine.
Great. Players mark new elective end of sessions questions or leave them both the same. So you can do that now. Resolve any moves, or if you have any advances that haven't been taken, go ahead and do that. I think everyone is good. Oh, it looks like Hugh has one. I think that was the
Oh geez, I was gonna write a journey move and didn't, so I think we'll let that ride for now.
And the keeper.
Unsure of what happened with mine.
What's
I
that?
think mine's just gray.
Yeah, it goes gray sometimes. I'm not sure why.
Okay. It's just foggy.
Yeah, just foggy.
No big.
Cool. So last we left just discovering the Institute's observation room in the car park, and I think everyone is there. Ren and Zeph and Sebastian and Hugh and Hope and Grover and Mort. The gang is all there.
Yay. And did that elevator just opened and shut, I assume?
No, it just stayed open.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, hello.
Would you like to join us?
The building,
Yes.
totally safe. You could just get inside me. Yeah, so the floor is yours. Where would you like to take this?
We're all thinking send Grover into the elevator, right?
I mean,
I didn't want to say it, but you said it. I was just like, Peter, used one of his advancements to lovingly make a side character. And I'm like, I don't like him. I don't know why.
We'll find
We
out.
could do this like the setup to a joke, like a librarian, a nurse, and a vulture get into an elevator.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know where it goes from there.
We can't spare the vulture, though. The vulture is important.
And the vulture has so much to feed on down here.
So much.
Honestly,
All the bodies.
probably the safest pick to get to go up.
The vulture
Actually,
just sees this as I went with them to a building and there was a buffet and I had a
Yeah.
great time.
It's good.
I love this
Everywhere
new
I go with
job.
Ren, there's always so much food.
It's like a travel cuisine show for work.
Yeah, he's got his own show that's just like Anthony Bourdain show.
Really about connecting culturally with the dead people that you're eating. Oh man. I mean, yeah. I can't imagine not going into the elevator, but I can't imagine my character wanting to go into the elevator.
We just walk away.
Those who
Silly
want-
What about
place.
can we? I mean, sorry. Have we already gone into the Institute observation room?
I think you
Or-
broke the window and kind of poked
Oh,
around
okay.
the desk and were like, oh, look at that. I think that's where you got your last the last institute clue was a one-way mirror in an unusual location.
Mhm.
Yeah, the car park is unusual for that.
I think Hugh is at least going to walk towards the elevator. He is not necessarily getting into it yet, but he's just kind of checking it out. And I assume it's just a perfectly normal elevator, right?
Yeah. Playing very soothing music. You probably recognize like a jingle that you had stuck in your head at some point.
Like a bad cover or something recognizable.
One that you love.
The Muzak version of the jingles that the Battle Saint would play.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if Hugh's going, I imagine
Oh
Ren
no.
is like tottering along a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Zeph is just like
We're all just kind of
it's just like is this like when he eats drug meat? Like this is this a
Slowly
bad
getting
thing?
closer to it.
oh,
Looks like Keith is on his way.
oh cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, I mean it's either that or like leave.
Leave and try and find another way in, or
Yeah. I mean there was the lobby, right? Or was
The lobby,
that what's the word I'm was it was there a blockade there?
Yeah,
Barricade, that's the word.
kind of like a battleground going in.
Not really
But
stairs.
not an active battleground. Like it's the front. The Slag King,
Mhm.
Slag King disciples have kind of secured the lobby.
As
Oh,
a
okay.
player, can I get a reminder of what we're trying
Yeah.
to do?
We're
We're trying to go up, or
the goal of this mission. So this place was consecrated, like a lot of buildings are. This one was consecrated with someone who was supposed to take care of everyone, and it sure did. So much so that people started disappearing, and the new cult formed called the Dreamers of Ease. The Slag King is the god whose followers are responsible for building buildings, and so there's a conflict between the Slag King and the new cult taking over. Your job is to like find a solution to this problem.
would the Slag King's people let us in through the?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Ah, this is frustrating. I, the player, want to check out the elevator.
it's made of flesh, right?
The elevator is just a normal, totally super normal elevator.
Okay.
Mm. Is there a? This is so like beginner D&D campaign. But, like, is there a
Perception
pull
check.
button for the elevator?
Yeah. Can I attack the elevator.
That's all right, Mark.
Use the elevator.
Unlike Dungeons and Dragons, I will do whatever the hell you want. And you just have to deal with whatever happens.
Oh no.
We're gonna what's
Seduce
that?
that thing.
We're gonna try to seduce the elevator. Is that
Oh no.
You
We
are,
might
usually what
succeed is the problem.
yeah.
you are
Yeah.
encouraged to. Yes.
Oh no, now the
Just say the word.
the-
That's going to be a roll of
the-
presence.
demi saint of elevators. That'd be great. But like the saint of elevators likes you, but now the saint of escalators has a grudge. Okay.
Now
Adjust all
pasione
of your-
plus pasiones.
Yeah, accordingly.
The
Mm.
resolutions, the opportunities for those questions for this one
Oh.
are either resolving the assignment by destroying or removing the hollowed body that's making the building go, resolve the assignment by using the knowledge of why the sprawl is growing to control or prevent the growth, kind of cutting off the dreamers of ease, or resolve the assignment by presenting a thesis to the delegation of Slag King Surveyor Priests and the educator, the dreamers representatives negotiating a peace.
Go franchise another property into our growing network of crime.
And so it's either destroy the building, control the building, or make peace with everyone in order to increase in difficulty.
I mean, you say or, but
No reason we can't do all of them.
You know we love to choose friendship.
Do have room for conditions, so we could roll with our 4 clues.
Yeah, you have 4.
And-
You'd be rolling with -4 on that, which
And then just everyone take a condition and bump it
Bump
by
it up.
1.
Yeah. I would
I'm
do
just
that.
saying that's an option, but
Yeah, but totally do that.
hello Heath,
Hello.
how are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling all right.
Ah,
However, I was asleep.
no.
Because much like Sebastian, I took my role as plague carrier far too seriously.
I know. I heard you like did some method acting.
Right? Totally. I was like, I really got to get into this and get me some real life plague.
I'm sorry that happened.
But I'm feeling mainly better, so that's good. Just for some reason today, I was like, I'm really tired. I'm going to take a nap. And then I was like, oh, look what time it is.
we are in the basement debating what to do.
We've just been
in front
standing
of
at the
an open
edge of the elevator
door.
since the scene has started, so you've missed nothing. We all want to go on the elevator, but no one
But
does.
we can't like think of why our players would want to do that.
I'm wondering if like the vulture goes in. I don't know why. And
We're all
like, and Ren is
chasing-
like, all right.
It's just like this
Maybe the
chain
vulture
link.
starts hopping in and like starts pecking the buttons.
Oh,
And so, like does like a little kid and like hits all the buttons. And then Ren is like, well, I guess I should go with the vulture.
Yeah, and it hits the buttons, and then after a second, the doors start closing. So if you want to get in, now's the time.
yeah, I think you kind of clown cars in after that.
yeah.
Probably jumps in and is like, oh wait, no, and then the doors are already or other people are coming in.
Oh wait, I didn't want to do this.
Zeph and Sebastian, are you jumping in as well?
Oh, definitely. I think I'll be.
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps there's a cure for the plague down there.
Oh, no.
There's no one else around.
It's up. We're going up.
Oh, up there.
We're already in the basement.
I hope you don't catch it from me in the elevator.
Oh, no.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's like
So you're all dead now.
I was gonna say, like, we're in an elevator. This is a perfect time for someone to give a monologue or.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sebastian,
yeah.
would you like to give a theatrical monologue?
Oh, one of those.
Plague?
You know, well, here we are. This is kind of representative of how the gods see the world. All of us packed together in a tiny space that they have control of. Anything could happen. Usually bad. But I mean, I'm sure something good could also happen from all of us being packed into an elevator to the unknown. Surely the world is not only bad consequences, for we have been bold. We've been bold and ventured forth to the unknown. And surely, occasionally, that must pay off. This will be the time, my friends. The gods will bless us for our bravery this day, stepping forth into this unknown elevator.
Make a roll of presence.
Let me pull up my dude. There I am. Of course, presence of 3. 2d6 plus 3?
6 plus 3.
You have the new dice roller.
I think so, yeah. The roll dice with friends one.
Yeah.
5,
Don't
6, 7,
forget
8. So that's
new
gonna
in
be
the
8.
session questions.
That is
You want to
a
change them, Heath.
5.
I think
3 is 8. Great.
change my name.
Or do we want to say that was Dallas's role, and
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
roll.
Dallas can take the consequences of that next time?
Great. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to get the condition of disappointment.
Oh, okay, because that was me
Yep,
being all the world's a stage.
that
I
was
got you.
doing the move.
I thought you meant just a monologue like my question, but that's still absolutely. I absolutely roll with this because
when
it's
you
very
deliver a
Sebastian.
theatrical monologue and narrate what you hope is about to happen,
Yep.
presence.
Dig it.
Not if you want to, when you do.
No, I mean it's me.
Your
It
choice.
is a very very me thing to do.
Great. And you're going to get rid of your condition. Did you have condition that you just erased?
There was a condition knowledgeable about plague carriers.
Yeah.
No, I didn't erase one. I was just I don't think I did I?
Yeah, you had a condition that was knowledgeable about plague carriers, I think.
Yeah.
That was from Peter's book.
Yeah.
Oh, huh, weird.
Yeah, that's okay. We're getting rid of that condition and giving you a different one.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Concrete.
But wait, Mark.
Yes.
Just hold on.
Bum, bum, bum.
Would you like to do something about that?
Because once per session, Sebastian can bump up a failure. Well, that's not failure. Never mind. Never mind. I think I purposely worded my move that way for a reason. That I could not bump. I think, yeah.
Mhm.
I think it had to be a failure. So never mind. No, I'm not doing anything about that. You were saying?
Replace that condition with the condition concrete rot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're no longer acting.
I'm so good.
Fine.
So good. Which means everyone else is now in an elevator with someone that is spewing out spores of concrete rot.
Oh, no.
Fortunately, the elevator dings, ding,
Ding.
at the lobby because Mark hit all the buttons.
Oh.
But yeah, the lobby is a
So in a way, Mort saved us.
more kind of so far. There's still more floors to go. The cathedral soaring murals and concrete egg box ceilings lit with the fuse light. It's a very, very lovely lobby. It's the brutalist. There are zealots of the Slag King kind of scurrying everywhere, hustling, in fact. And they have set up a big chrome altar on top of, like, they've stacked a bunch of lobby furniture together and welded them together and put this giant chrome altar to the Slag King above it. And you can kind of hear, like, the acoustics of the place are so, like, you can hear everything that everyone's saying, whether they're shouting or whispering. This is a paint the scene question for this. How do the murals tell the story of the building's founding, and how has the wall? I'll put that in chat.
Okay.
So I'll close chat and then open it up again. There we go.
Probably twisted them. Oh,
And just remind me, has it been established what this building is, as far like what it's used for, its history, like it's a hospital or whatever? I can't remember.
It's an apartment block. Yeah.
It's also
an
what?
apartment
The hollowed person that was put in was basically installed to take care of everyone's need in the high rise.
Hmm. Let's see here.
I think there's different part, like the one of the first murals is how it shows like sort of a courtyard with all the residents of this building having a get together and like having community, like it's a place for community, and they're exchanging gifts and then brought dishes of food, and they've got families and kids are playing, so it's like, yes, not just a place to live but a place to live with each other.
Hmm.
Community.
In that same vein, there's a mural with like a hill and a lot of people holding hands across the hill, all ages, backgrounds and such, like a hand. But if you look really closely at them, you cannot see anyone's individual hands. They just seem to, arms just kind of seem to go, like paper dolls.
Oh, yeah. I think there was originally a scene of a couple introducing their young child to their new home, like kind of opening the door for the first time and eagerly showing them around. And it's kind of like an AI effect of like you can see the door kind of smearing a bit towards them, like tendrils are reaching out from the material to grasp towards this child. And then if you notice that, you start seeing other places in the murals where the building seems alive and grasping for people.
I think also there's like there's a lot of grabbing and hands in wrong places here so far. It seems like poor life. But continuing that theme, there's like a WPA style, like workers building the building together, and there's like oh, what's his name? Diego?
Oh, I
Rivera?
know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a guy?
geez. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But like instead
Diego
of
Rivera.
yes. Instead of them, yeah, so it's a classic, like industry, progress sort of mural. But the the building is like reaching out for the bricks with its own hands, and the workers are eventually turned into just like piles of bricks themselves.
Nice. Fantastic. I think across the lobby you can see that Ezekiel and his crew have made their way into the lobby and are kind of both taking and giving orders, kind of like shouting to move this over there and get up the stairs. There's a couple stairwells you can see on either side that people are kind of rushing in and out of. People rushing into with weapons, and some people being carried out on stretchers. In the somewhere in the middle, there's a massive, like greasy, hairless, scarred guy wearing like a big overalls and nothing else, pretty much, like gloves and overalls and boots. And he's got a metal box affixed to his throat, and just like scars all down here like this. And he seems to be the one kind of giving the main orders. And his voice box is just like disciples, is it in the plans, and holding up blueprints and kind of conducting the entire operation.
I'm sorry, was that a guy from with the Slug King forces?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
kind of directing the Slug King forces.
Thank you.
Kind of like
And we are hearing that in the lobby. Sorry.
yeah, he's like not perched on the sculpture, but kind of set up on a what do you call, like a plinth or something? Maybe a table is overturned, kind of shouting orders through his voice box.
Ooh, could we try and talk to this guy?
Absolutely, yeah. How do you approach?
Let's see. Yeah, what are we trying to find out here?
You can see his overalls are um, kind of like woven out of like architectural plans and blueprints. Like it almost looks like it's a pattern, but then you're like, oh no, that's made of paper. That's flammable. Okay.
Yeah, we're just trying to find, let's see, going to the assignment, Howard Sprawl. What rumors around residents consumed. Yeah, I think Hugh just kind of calls out to the guy as exits the elevator.
Brothers, come, I can assign you. Uh,
Yeah.
you've come to aid the cause of the Slag King.
Um, I think, yeah, Hugh is trying to take point on the conversation and is going to do it a wonderful job of it, I'm sure. Yeah, and I think, yeah, I think it's first like, oh, you're with the Slag King, and not the gesturing vaguely at the sprawl.
And not the what?
Is it the sprawl? Is that the word for it? What are we dealing with here?
It's the Dreamers of Ease are
Oh,
the
the Dreamers of Ease.
Dreamers.
Yeah, the Dreamers of Ease. What are they trying to do?
They've corrupted the Slag King's monument to progress. They're taking the easy way out instead of working for a living. If we can't get them out of the rot in this building could infect the rest of our constructions. Anything deviating from the plan is to be torn down.
Okay, that's the plan. And then the Dreamers are just up at the top floor, I guess.
Yeah, we're fighting a nonstop battle trying to make our way up, but they're resilient.
What happens if someone takes that elevator up there?
And I don't think he noticed you coming out of the elevator.
Oh no.
And
Just an innocent question.
like his fervor leaves for a moment and he looks
No.
like kind of 1,000 yard stare at the elevator and then looks back at you and says, that elevator doesn't stop here.
Oh.
What are you afraid he might do if he thinks that you're on the wrong side?
Oh. What am I afraid he might do? I think I'm afraid he might feed us down the chute that will drop us like dead into the pile of meat.
I guarantee he will not do that because that's the dreamer's job.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What would the Slag King do? Probably inter us in concrete,
Oh,
like in a
yeah,
slab or something that has prayer marks all over it.
great. This is going to be a roll with presence.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
I'm sorry, everyone. Presence is 0. Do I have any conditions that can help? No. Do I have any objects that can help? Empty journals, quill, ink blotter. The anesthetic prayer mark of that which, okay, and then scout binoculars. What was the west. Oh, I just need to convince him that I'm not with the
Yeah.
Dreamers of Ease. I am going to use the military scout binoculars, I think.
Okay.
And say, like, oh, obviously we are not. We're investigating what's going on here, but we are workers.
Mhm.
We have been monitoring the area and to see what and he's not good what deformation is going on here. Glotich needs to know.
Great. So that's 3 dice top 2.
Weirdly, I'm not lying.
Yeah.
And it feels so much like I'm lying. Oh no. Okay, so 3 dice, rolling 3 dice.
Ooh, that is 5. That is a 5.
Oh god.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Great. Wow.
Yeah.
So many bad things could happen here. Yeah.
Baked in a
I
slab.
think exactly that thing that
Yeah.
happens. He just like his fervor comes back and he speaks into his voice box, which is like connected to like a loudspeaker as well.
Oh, yeah.
Take him away, boys. We need
Oh,
more.
no.
We need more bodies for the hallowed battlements. And a couple of burly workers come to grab you and drag you towards the stairway. I think the rest start moving towards the rest of you. Unsure whether you are to be included in the sacrifice. You
Okay.
can use a verse if you like.
Yeah, I think I gotta use a verse. What is the moldering litany?
A moldering litany.
Also, if you'd like to use a verse of prophecy, I can make that go away.
That is true.
Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have one more box to use.
Might as well use it.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
just, if it's okay, I'll just check my moldering litany verse of, or no, bleeding revelation verse of prophecy,
And then are you gonna unmark that?
and then I'll unmark it.
I'll mark mine, which means, yeah, I get an XP now for using up all 3 of them.
That could help.
Great.
And I now must inspire you with what do oh, inspire them to boldly seize the moment. That's right.
Yeah. How do you inspire him?
So I've just given a very unconvincing speech about how we are working class investigators for the government. Which we are. Why am I so bad at this?
Listen, I'm sorry. Hold on, just one moment. Let me talk to my employee. Brian, I've told you, Brian, if you're going to be effective in your new position, you have to be confident. You have to exude a confidence and an air of leadership, my friend. I know this is a new position for you, but you can't go walking into every building you inspect as if it is a new position for you. Now let's try it again. Come on. Sorry, we're gonna try this again. This is his first solo inspection. Just if we can just try this one more time. Now walk back in, and just start over. This hasn't happened. All right. Now you're walking in for your first
Here's
inspection, and
giving
go.
very confused audience volunteer vibes. Just like, yes. I'm Brian, and I'm here to investigate.
Great. He narrows his eyes at you.
There.
You start to feel queasy for a moment.
Oh no.
I'm going to give you the condition disoriented.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I'm using something that I've been saving for a while.
Oh no.
The rest of you see Hugh just kind of space out.
I'm sure this is fine.
Seems normal.
Yeah. But the surveyor's like, well, get yourselves ready to do battle. We're sending another group up.
Hmm. And just the elevator, I assume, has closed behind us.
Yeah, I think he does it. Ooh, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna roll a fortune die just to see.
Oh,
Mm, it
I
does
don't like it
not.
when you do that.
The elevator is still very cheerfully staying open. You would think the doors would just close at this point because you've been out of it for too long.
Yeah.
But it stays open. The music gets a little bit louder, I think.
Oh no.
All the buttons are still pressed.
The buttons are still pressed.
God damn
And
it.
I think when he narrows his eyes, he like looks over at a crew that's like across the room, but who are paying rapt attention to him. And he says, "Now's our chance. Fill her up." And you see a couple guys come out
Uh-oh.
behind a bunker with a handheld, like one of the rotary cement mixer things on a little pallet. They start pulling it over to the elevator, and they're about to fill it with concrete. You can let that happen or not.
Hmm.
But he's like, "We're gonna send some more folks up the elevators or the stairwells if you want to continue your inspection up there."
And what I think, God, Hugh does ask why they're concreting the elevator.
That's the express elevator to the penthouse. Um,
Oh.
I think Bastion, when he says that, Sebastian,
Oh no.
you kind of like like you know how ants kind of want to go to the top of a stalk of grass to get eaten by when they get infected with that fungus. A little cordyceps,
Cordyceps.
a little cordyceps feeling towards the elevator. Not enough to make you do anything, but you're like, oh, penthouse sounds fucking nice.
I mean, Express. That sounds like you're cutting out a lot of unnecessary journey. Express is good.
Express is bad. We didn't build that elevator. The Dreamers did, or the Sprawl did. It's not in the plans.
Well, that probably means it should be inspected.
We're going to inspect it with concrete, is what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's not how inspections work.
Well, I'm not an inspector, I'm a builder. You can take notes while they do it.
Yeah. It just seems strange to me. It's clearly not an express elevator if it stopped here.
It's never stopped here before. Go straight from the basement to the top and back.
And think Hugh gently is like, how many buttons are on the never mind.
There's no buttons. You get in and it takes you up, and then you come back down.
I wonder what Mort pressed.
Oh,
There were definitely buttons in there when you were in there.
Okay.
There was a whole big old row of buttons.
Yeah. Can I get to it to kind of check out the console again, or will that?
Yeah, you can get to it while they're pouring concrete in it.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And the console is still there.
Yeah. I think Hugh says like, yeah, there's a full console here.
Even worse. It's
Okay.
growing and changing. It's adapting. It's not how this place was built. It's not how it was meant to be built.
Oh man.
I'm gonna ask this guy. Oh, what do you have for breakfast today?
He
Oh no.
is like a giant grin, made more terrible because it like his mouth around his lips are all burnt and scarred. And he says, I didn't have my breakfast today. I can show you. What are you afraid he might show you?
Oh no.
I mean, I was just expecting oatmeal, but seems like a real oatmeal kind of guy. No offense to. I'm sure he's gonna show his breakfast. I don't know, something that indicates that he's really in deep with the Slag King. So I guess just like nails and gravel and other
yeah.
building material.
I'm not going to say it's worse than that, but it is. Let's. I think since this is a conversation, let's make this a presence roll.
Okay.
I don't want to put you in communion just yet.
Presence 1. Okay. Wait, I had a special power. No, it doesn't do anything. Okay. 1, 2. I got a 7.
7. Okay, great. So he only does this to himself. He makes a motion with his hand, like arm the size of your leg, and one of his guys, who's got long gloves, and like almost comedically oversized tongs, brings him a crucible of what is clearly molten steel. And he holds it with his hand, and you can see his flesh smoking and dripping. He holds it out to you as if offering you some.
I only need to have coffee for breakfast.
And then he just tilts his head back and pours it down his throat, and it pouring down the sides of his mouth. And he's clearly what the scars are. Not the first time, and he's not laughing because his throat is full of molten steel. His body is shaking as if in some sort of ecstasy, and the men and women around kind of stop their work while it's happening and start like slowly and quietly and then building up like it's in the plans until they're hooting and stuff, until he like finally like wipes his thing and flicks gobs of molten steel off, and there's like still like fresh burns and just dripping down his onto, and his overalls are not burning even though they're made of paper. Zeph.
Wait, what? So the weirdest thing about that seems to be the paper overalls to me.
Zeph, how do you feel about what just
Whole
happened?
time.
I feel I mean a little yeah, just a little freaked out.
Yeah.
I was like, Zeph was like gearing up for like a whole, like I'm gonna, get the community together vibe. Now it's just like, fuck this. What are we doing here?
Yeah, take the condition, fuck this. Seems like an appropriate response.
Yeah.
He says any more, and through his voice box, which is clear why he has it now.
Oh, geez.
Any more questions, kid?
I'm good. Yeah.
What's Ren doing through all this?
Really sure. So I was wondering if maybe I might just be weirdly I might just use my move of like looming. Yeah, I think Ren. Yeah, I'm gonna do she waits in ruin. Once per session, I can peer in any scene, looming in the background as a silent witness, as long as I don't speak. I can find the item, I can find a clue, or I can learn something about a nearby danger.
Mm.
I think I had like a clue. I think Ren is, yeah, maybe Ren is like hanging out farther back, maybe with Mort, and finds a clue somehow.
Right. Tell me what that clue is.
Oh, I think there are I think in a trash can there's a crumpled up blueprint that has some blood stains on it. Does it?
Yeah. Let's stay in a couple of blueprint in a trash can.
Yeah.
Do you have any inkling whose blood it might be? Like, is it one of the Sly Kings guys? Is it a resident, one of the dreamers, someone else?
I think it's really old blood,
Mm. Really old.
like founders.
Founders, that's great. Cool. Hugh, Sebastian, they're exhorting you to go up with the next wave up the stairwell, but you don't have to.
Hmm. Like normally I would want to tell these people about the information we got about what was in the basement. But after their response to the last things we said.
I think from what he said about the elevator, you can probably put together that at least he knows, and probably like it's part of the.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's why they're not down there. It's a bad place for them. It's a direct line to a bad place.
Wait, but he doesn't know that the Institute is watching.
No.
Okay.
Hmm.
But he does know about the elevator and said that it just goes from the basement to the top and shouldn't stop anywhere else.
Okay. There's a strong argument that it's developing more
Yeah,
abilities.
and that fits in with what you know about what the building's been doing the entire time.
Yeah. Hmm.
Just trying to figure out what we're going for here. What do we want to happen?
Yeah, which of the opportunities do you want to go for?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah.
Destroying the body, or forging a peace.
Huh.
As it stands now, forging the peace is not only the highest complexity, but probably the most difficult task to complete with a.
Yeah.
It sounds like us.
But yeah, go for it.
Friends.
I'm always leaning towards friendship, but also we maybe have changed over the course of our.
Yeah.
Oh, so this would so the complicated one resolve the assignment by presenting a cogent thesis. That whole one.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, the more complicated
Right.
one is like, yeah, cogent thesis.
Yeah,
And
so
is this guy we're talking to one of the Slag King Surveyor priests?
he is the chief Slag King Surveyor
Right.
priest. So
Well, there we go.
him, you would have to track down one of the educators representatives and get him to quell his fervor, calm down the guy who just drank molten steel to fire himself up.
Okay, okay.
All right.
And this is so silly, but from a metagaming perspective, I don't see any additional, we don't get an additional move or anything.
No, it's just harder.
Mm. Oh, there is a verse in concrete of the concrete.
I mean,
jungle
on the
as
other hand,
well.
this place does suck.
Yeah.
I think Sebastian,
Mhm.
um, you see this, and it's kind of like like if this was a movie, it would kind of like be a little like weird, dreamy zoom in, I think. Because it seems like something that other people should notice, but you're definitely like kind of drawn to. Um, there's someone who's clearly been afflicted by the concrete rot, um, coming in the front door of the building into the lobby. Um, he's got, or they've got, it's hard to tell. No legs. Eyes are kind of like wrapped with a bandage. Clearly blind. Just gray flesh everywhere, kind of flaking off into this grayish rust-colored stuff. And he's just dragging himself forward from the entrance towards the elevator, and just looks rapturously joyful, I think is the expression. Other people don't seem to be paying them any mind, but you feel a certain connection with them. You don't feel like they're dangerous other than being afflicted and probably contagious.
But I'm already afflicted, right?
And probably contagious.
I, I feel like this is a good opportunity to find the middle ground between uh, the desire I had to get in the elevator and go to the top, and it, and to help a fellow brother. I'm like, maybe they can go to the top. Okay, so I feel like I start helping. I'm like, oh, but please, sir, let's help you to the elevator. Let me help you. May I help your journey to the elevator?
Oh, yeah, that Marcus Jaws, the small sprawl rises, dreaming of concrete red eyes.
Well, there's lots of concrete going into that elevator right now.
Yeah, they're definitely filling it full of concrete. Yeah, like if or they if you know if they had eyes, like they would be staring directly into yours, but it's just the like dirty, dusty cloth. Um, and he's like, "Don't hide the truth. You're wise."
I mean, at least somebody sees it.
It, and he like draws his hand across his like it. He's probably wearing clothes, but it's hard because everything just sounded like super gross. And like grabs like a fistful of ash from his skin and reaches out towards your face. What do you do?
I think I'd kind of step back and be like, no, please, I have my own.
The mark you can see. Rest, red eyes.
Yeah.
Take the mark and a sprawl will rise.
I think I'm plenty marked enough. You should keep the mark for yourself.
Oh, I have.
Eh,
Time to meet your eyes. And you can see there is actually like a prayer mark on his forehead that looks like it's been like it may have been originally drawn in dust, but now it's kind of like it almost carved into his forehead because it's just like almost like this gray concrete scab and it picked off in the shape of this prayer mark.
Hmm.
says, "You don't believe. Would you like to see?"
See what?
What are you afraid he's going to show you? Or what do you afraid? What are your better question. How are you afraid the Slag King's people will react when he shows you what he has to show you?
Hmm. That they'll throw both of us into the cement-filled elevator.
Um, it is worse than that. Um, they will throw you in the elevator, and the elevator will still go up to the penthouse. This is a roll with comedian.
Communion, which thankfully is now only 0 for me. Straight up rolling. I don't think there's anything I can really do about it. Yeah, I guess not. So let's fight and roll. 7.
7. Fantastic. So here's what happens. They go stiff. If you were helping them along to the elevator, they're probably a third or 2/3 way there, and they kind of go stiff. I'm gonna roll for a change. Oh no. And his skin starts to flake, and he starts kind of turning into concrete dust, just like falling to the ground. And as the pieces of him fall into the ground, girders and chunks of rebar shoot out of the ground, impaling so many of the Slag King's men. Concrete, like almost like how ice crystals grow, concrete just growing over the mouths of the stairwells where they were going up, entombing a couple of them. You can see like an arm and a leg coming out. And it is chaos as the lobby erupts in just like carnage as the building is just attacking everyone inside, including you all. You can do a verse to bring that up, or you can deal with it somehow. What would you like to do?
I mean, I don't want to do a verse.
Well,
Got plenty. Plenty.
I don't, though. I don't. I mean, I don't really know what else to do but mark verse. I don't. Doesn't really sound like there's another choice.
I mean, you all can probably like do some things to get out unscathed with some good action. I think this probably takes the brokering a peace off the table, because a lot of the Slag King's people are including the high priests are kind of murdered right now.
Did you say the drinking dude that was one? I'm confused. Whose side is whose? You say that was one of the adjudicators, or that was one of the Slag King
That's
priests?
one of the Sly King's guy. That's the surveyor Jeremiah Monger.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of like organizing the effort to attack the tower.
And so, who would be the adjudicators representatives?
Probably someone from the bureau or someone from Glottage, someone in the
Okay.
government, basically telling folks what you saw here and getting them to like putting forth a case to bring the Slag King to heel, kind of. Still a tall order.
They're saying it'll be even cooler when we pull this off.
Exactly.
That's what I heard.
I, for one, would like to see how you had no choice but to sign a contract as a custodian, but that's up to you.
Man, that's the only verse of history I have left. I'm gonna mark that and narrate it later.
Cool. So what does mix look like here? So he is still exercising his power. He is in a controlled way, however, instead of completely losing it and murdering everyone. And I think what he does is you can, like, even though you can't see their eyes, you can feel them kind of burning into you. And it's not that they're burning into your eyes, it's kind of like they're burning into your forehead, kind of like as if the prayer mark is connecting with you. And you see his finger twitch, and a piece of rebar shoots out of the ground and impales one of the guys who's pouring concrete into the elevator. And he looks at you. They look at you and smile. And then their finger twitches again, and a chunk of concrete from the ceiling falls and crushes another one. And the Sly King people are in an uproar. They don't understand what's happening. They think the building's just attacking them. And the afflicted person chuckles, like, this is what you could have if only you could see. And they keep crawling towards the elevator. Oh, there is also the verse of the concrete jungle. And they have stopped pouring concrete into the elevator. What's he doing while this is going on? You see the attack on the guys pouring concrete.
Yeah. Do I see Sir talking to the plague victim?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't. You probably don't make a connection between the two things,
Yeah.
but both things are happening.
Sorry, Mark, just to clarify, you said there are people with the plague on both sides?
The plague is. I mean, you haven't seen anyone from the Dreamers yet, but possibly. Yeah, I think this person and other plague victims you've seen are like just residents or people nearby who have been infected.
Oh, sure.
Associated with either one.
I assume the elevator is like half full of concrete and we can't escape in the elevator.
You could try, see what happens.
Oh, yeah, that just wouldn't. Well,
as that attack is happening,
yeah.
What's his name, Monger, like they've gone on the offensive, boys. Let's get them. And a surge goes up the stairwell.
Goes up the stairwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Oh man, no, just. Hmm. I don't think my character is gonna wade into the concrete.
Fair.
Um, I don't think there's a way to avoid it getting just stuck there. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think as soon as people start getting impaled, Hugh is trying to grab whoever's nearest and make towards the exit.
Fantastic. Yeah, you can definitely grab a few people and get out of there.
Yeah.
The attack seems to be just on the people who are trying to seal up the elevator, not on.
Oh yeah, but I think
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it's
sure
a
Hugh
big
is just
attack
like.
instead of a chaotic loss of control. What is Ren doing silently?
I'm not really sure.
There's a couple dead guys now, but
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna talk to the dead guys.
they are impaled and crushed, but they are dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the dead guys.
Um, are you doing the Maiden's Embrace?
The Maiden's Embrace. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start now that there's some dead people, I'm gonna start like preparing them for funeral rites and checking in with them and seeing if there's anywhere they need to be or anything they want me to tell their loved ones.
Both
Finally, some dead
freshly
ones.
and violently dead. What they are doing mostly is screaming. The guy who's impaled is, I think he might not even be all the way dead yet, but the guy who is crushed definitely is. And he is under a giant slab of concrete, and you can hear him screaming even though his body is still.
Yes.
How do you take care of someone who's crushed and still like oozing out from under what has he been crushed under?
I mean, I have a lot of shawls. We've established this. So I think I like pull off a shawl and I like gather up the pieces that I can.
Mm.
I hold them in my hands. And I say the prayers. This is the place. I
What are you?
think Ren is feeling like pretty numb in this place though. Like my
Yeah.
heart, Ren's heart isn't like totally in it. Ren is like, this is the place.
Yeah,
This is
and
why
there's
I
like
do the
a
place.
giant pile of dead people downstairs for the record too, like, or dead stuff. What are you afraid might happen if that concrete is not structurally sound?
I mean, yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna. I'm not sure of any other option other than to fall on us.
It's true. Um, this is going to be a move with vitality.
No, that's not one I have.
Mm.
But okay.
Do you have any items or anything you'd like to use?
Mort.
Mort. How does Mort help?
I feel like Mort is eating some of the flesh,
Mm.
and that helps balance some of the concrete a little bit.
Cool. So 3 dice, top 2.
Gross, in a gross way.
Super gross, but effective.
And gross and effective. That's my Mort. 3. Top 2. Talus dice roller. All right, 6 and
That's
4.
a
That's
10.
a 10. Thank
Great.
you, Mort. If Mort wasn't there, I'd be crushed.
Yeah, you would be. Cool. Yeah. So you are able to collect them up and do your thing. They stop screaming by the time you collect enough things. Would you like to do the Maiden's Embrace move where you can roll?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that.
Um,
I guess it's not a choice. You are doing the things. So
Yeah, I'm not. I guess I'm not sure. Are you? What are you asking me?
So the Maiden's Embrace move when you give comfort to the dying or perform final rites roll with communion, on a hit,
Yes.
clear condition, and so on.
Okay. Do we need more clues?
I can always use more clues.
Yeah. Just clues. So 2 plus 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have 5 clues, and then the challenge levels are 4, 6, and 8. Complexity levels are 4, 6.
Okay, so you could probably use another clue.
Yeah.
All right. So communion, 2 and 2 plus 3,
That is a 4 plus 3,
7.
7. Great. On a hit, you can clear a relevant condition. Do you have a condition to clear?
I don't think I do. No, no
You can get
conditions.
blue on a 10 plus. Would you like to burn a verse to bump it up to a 10 plus?
Yeah,
Cool. What would you like to check?
I haven't used verses.
Oh my God, you have so many verses.
There's so many verses. Um, verses of, let's see, there's verses of history, of prophecy.
You can get your community to go up by none.
I can't make, yeah, I know I can't make it go up anymore. I didn't know that that was going to be a thing. I think I'm going to do a verse. The Ashen one makes sense right now. The
Yeah,
Ashen
cool.
Circle. Even though that doesn't really do anything for me.
That'll get you closer to your final prayer, though.
Yeah.
Finally die. Let's hold on for the narration for that. And we'll do that and get a clue. I want to check in with Zeph first. You can still check it.
No,
just
wait, I'll do a flashback. Sorry. I have it. I'll hold off on the narration. Sounds good.
Oh, okay, cool. I want to check in with Zeph first, and then we'll take a little break.
Uh, yeah.
Kind of clusterfuck all over the place right now.
Right. Yeah. So Hugh has like grabbed some people and moved them towards the entrance,
Mhm.
away from the danger.
Sebastian's talking with his little legless guy,
Yeah.
running to bodies. And guys are rushing up the stairway.
Yeah. Um, oof.
Big commotion.
Well, can't decide. Should I badly comfort the guy who's been impaled, or should I try to stop the um uh yeah yeah, I don't think I want to talk to that priest surveyor again. So I'll go to the dying impaled guy just to give him comfort, which will take the form of something like an uncomforting speech. Like, don't worry, it's going to be over soon. Your God can't help you right now because no gods can. You know, I've been following my God for a long time, and it's just uh it's just like one demand after another.
He looks terrified when you say.
I mean, I can try to cauterize this wound, but I don't think you're gonna like that.
Well, it hurts
Uh,
because his
I mean,
skin is
more
pale.
than dying. Yes,
Sweat.
it will hurt more than dying. I just want you to know that like nothing you've done here has mattered, and like the gods are weak and only have power over us because we're weaker. Um, uh, this is a terrible place to die, but it's probably a worse place to live. But if you want, I'll try. And I'll lay hands on him,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I guess. Do I have anything? I mean, I could make him disappear and never exist. But
This is very interesting. I think. So, are you laying hands on him? What are you doing? Anything Saint Electric wise, or just kind of?
yeah. Saint Electric. I don't have any. I mean, my only thing is the sacred conduit. which we've been kind of using as a just like for me channeling electricity. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to keep this guy alive. I'm trying to keep his heart beat.
You want to channel electricity to do that?
Yeah.
What are you afraid will happen? Flag King is stronger than your god.
Oh, uh, um, I am afraid that the Flag King will um uh instead of me being a conduit of power for the Saint Electric, I will be a conduit of power back for the Slag King to the Saint Electric.
Mm.
The Slag King will become a god of construction and power,
Oh,
essentially.
wow. Um, dang. Yeah, I think it's worse than that. Then
Okay.
I think, and even if it's just a localized phenomenon,
Mhm.
sap the strength, will, and enthusiasm of all these Slag King's followers here, um, and the Dreamers are going to get the upper hand in pretty short order.
Mhm.
This is a roll with communion.
Oh, yeah. What can I use? Oh, my hollowed battery.
Oh,
Hallowed battery.
hallowed.
Yeah.
3 dice top 2.
+0, I believe.
+0. There we
Cool.
go. Okay.
Nice.
That is
11.
11. Great. So you're doing the sacred conduit? Are you marking that charge?
Oh. Uh, hmm.
You don't have
Good
to, but
question.
you can if you like.
Uh,
You could possibly get a clue.
okay. Seems like
Cool.
a bad idea.
You did great on this. So let's make that vitality roll. Make it with advantage.
Oh, okay.
That
Well, so
you,
that's 3d6 +3.
uh, yeah, 3d6 top 2 +3.
What could
You could give me
possibly go wrong? Uh, wait, 10. Okay.
10. Fantastic. Cool. So that's get back to your move. There it is. On a 10 plus, choose 2. The divine lightning discharges safely. Mechanical objects are unaffected and do not become a danger. And the divine current reveals a clue. Pick 2 of those.
Hmm. Uh, I'm gonna choose. Gosh. I'll choose mechanical objects are
Mm,
unaffected. I feel like we've got enough without,
wise choice. Yeah.
yeah, and revealing a clue.
Fantastic. Tell me what it is.
Um, uh,
And this guy does come back to life. This guy is
yeah.
you of he is alive.
Oh,
He will live when he is unimpaled, but right now he is not mortally wounded.
oh. Like a like apologetic nod to Ren. All right. I didn't think it
Got
was gonna
plenty of
work.
work to do.
Could be well,
Uh,
could be.
uh, um, yeah, can't wait to make this guy a follower, and he's like still got the rebar, just like dragging it around on the floor behind him. Clue. Anyone got any hits for clues? Uh,
Is
Let's
there
see.
something like a logo on the rebar or something?
yeah.
Yeah, or something about how the impalement stuff happened, like something you know it's about how the building is acting, or you're right by the elevator, something about the elevator.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the rebar has roots in the ground that seem kind
Oh
of
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah. I like also. I was thinking maybe the rebar, like, so if I've electrified it and like briefly see it see the electricity of the rebar, and it is, yes, it is growing from the ground, and it is also making a prayer mark itself.
Oh,
Awesome. Rebar growing from the ground like roots, making a prayer mark. And since you did not choose, divine lightning discharges unsafely with striking anyone nearby. And we will take a little break. Let's take 10.
Uh-oh, I'm
Cool.
nearby.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens next.
all right, bye for now.
Right. Ren, you checked a verse. Would you like to do your narration?
Yeah, during the break, I decided that my verse is going to be a verse of prophecy.
On towards death.
That feels more appropriate to this moment. So I'm marking the Ashen Circle, which says narrate a flashback to a time. You perceive death as a peaceful thing, increase your communion by 1. So there was a time when Ren was still working for her parents in the bank. Solomon first. Yeah. And she was leading one of the sacrifices to the to the meeting room. And his name was Walter. He had defaulted on a loan, and this is just how we keep the bank going. This is one of Ren's first times, like, being alone with one of the sacrifices, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna go use the restroom. So she says, okay. But he doesn't come out for a while. And finally, Ren has to go in after him and finds that he has hung himself with his belt in one of the stalls. And the look of peace on his face makes Ren overcome with just grief and feel all the tenseness and all the urgency and all the striving that they had been holding in their body, trying to keep up this death-making corporation. And Ren can't help themselves. They just fall to their knees. And kind of like hold on to Walter's shoes. And that's when she hears Walter say, could you take me to my parents' home? And in the distance, she sees the Cairn Maiden.
Since you can't raise your communion, why don't you take a condition peaceful, and you can burn that for advantage.
Nice. Or I could
Would
get
you-
real vital, get pumped.
Still vital.
You've got a
Right.
peaceful, easy feeling.
Yeah.
Great in this moment.
Yeah, because in this moment you're getting zapped.
So
Finally, I can die.
Zap back to reverie with a Zeph lighting the place up. I think a couple of the Sly Kings folks that are still lollygagging around get hit, unclear. They go down. They're twitching, unclear if they're alive or not. But Ren, also, you get super hit. So this is a divine bolt. So is this a communion roll because it's a bolt from the Saint Electric, or is it a vitality roll because you're getting electrocuted? The advantage to being communion is that you have better roll for it. The disadvantage to communion is that worse things could happen if you fail.
I mean, it does feel like it's communion just because it's even story-wise.
Yeah. Let's roll with communion then. What are you afraid might happen as you are as the Saint Electric courses through you?
I'm afraid that the saint will claim me.
Mm-hmm. It's worse than that. Um,
How could it be?
He will claim you not by killing you, but by hollowing you.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
it is
That's what
worse.
I'm most afraid of.
Fortunately,
Fate worse than death.
it's 3 in communion, so nothing can go wrong.
Yep, that's how it's been so far.
That's a
2,
7.
5, and +3.
Plus 3,
10.
that's a 10. Great. How does the maiden help you ground the Saint Electric's power without harm?
Oh my god. I think that it's because I'm still touching the dead body.
Yep. Yep.
So it discharges into the like miasma that I'm
Fantastic.
or gut pile that I'm kind of leaning on.
Sebastian, I think you know, it's clear that our friend, the afflicted guy, is the one who did this. I don't think only you know this. No, none of the other Sly King folks recognize what happened. Shirley Monger didn't. And you can tell that they're still heading towards the elevator. I think this took a lot out of them. It's unclear whether they're going to make it or not, but they are willing to give you this power. What would you like to do?
This power being what exactly?
Being, knowing the ritual of the Skyward Sprawl.
Hmm. Do I have any kind of inkling? And no, maybe the answer. But do I have any kind of feeling that like this would be committing to my disease, and I am like, well, this is me. I'm diseased, and there'd be no getting out of it if I do this.
So here's the thing. Normally, you can only get this ritual if you have the Ashen Circle marked.
Hmm.
I think if you want to take the ritual, that would make your concrete rod permanent. But you would have a cool new power. Your call. Or I'll give you a third opportunity. You can mark the Ashen Circle right now.
I think that Sir is actually still thinking that he's going to get rid of this somehow. And so he feels, whether it's true or not, he feels like this is sort of a test where it's like, give in, get the power, it'll be cool, and then you'll have concrete rod. But who cares? You have cool powers and can kill people. It'd be awesome. And so he's like tempted, but then
or an extra communion point. Win-win.
But I also think that he realizes that this is also tempting because he's feeling very negatively towards the Watcher right now because of, once again, a disappointment. And he's like, this is such fucking bullshit.
Also have promised yourself to the silver lining as well. So
I know, I'm a popular
That's a
guy.
little bit
There's a lot of people want onto my dance card.
Sebastian's popular.
But then I think this is a good place to narrate my verse.
Yeah.
I think it brings it all together. Because in all this turmoil, he's been really tempted. Because he's like, first he was already like, fuck the Watcher, always disappointed. Fuck this other dude who wants my soul, who I still got to figure out how to get out of as well. But hey, maybe I should go Skyward Sprawl, get some cool powers. I mean, I'd like to be able to like just pew pew pew. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But then he remembers how he got into all this in the first place. which was that after a series of disappointments, and he was feeling somewhat similar to this, he was about to put up his first show that he was directing. And so he was just kind of like trying to psych himself up backstage. And I think at this point he'd never used the All the World's a Stage move yet. That hadn't happened. And so he was just like, he was trying to, you know, fake it till you make it. So he's just backstage going, no, this show is no, it's gonna be fine. This is the one I've been working towards. This show is going to be like the most successful show this town has ever seen. People are gonna come from all over the world to see this show. It's going to be so huge. It's going to break records. It's going to be just the best theatrical possession ever. Come on, yes, and we can do this. The watcher's gonna be happy. And sort of speaking those words, he felt something, was like, oh, that was different. Like something just happened when I said that. And sure enough, this show, weirdly, like, man, people came from all over the world for the opening night of this show. Like thoroughfares into and out of the city were clogged. It was a problem. There was
What's the show?
the show was The Unbearable Weight of Balance. And it was a it was a very Amadeus type of not formula, I don't want to use, but like, yes, you know, like the talented one who seemed to get everything from the god, and the more jealous one who's like, I've given you everything, God. Why does that guy get all the, and kind of, you know, with overall themes about how there's always balance in the world, and even though you might not feel it, and so this turned into like a legitimate problem where it was causing infrastructure problems and problems in the surrounding areas of the countryside, and it was so huge that like it drew the attention, and one day, I want to say it's the last weekend of the show, someone from the bureau visits Sebastian. And to this day, Sebastian still doesn't know how they knew. But this agent from the bureau was like, so I understand you're the cause of unbalancing this whole area of the countryside with traffic and this and people, and you know, it wasn't like that before. Oh, about 2 weeks ago. And you know, unfortunately, because of all this trouble you've caused, it's farther reaching than you even know. We have no choice, but we may have to outlaw the Watcher as a sanctioned god.
Oh, the Watcher is not a sanctioned god.
Oh, sorry. We may have, then the second part is still true.
Yeah.
We may have to ban all theatrical productions in surrounding countryside. It's too much. It's causing too many problems. The infrastructure can't take it. People can't get anywhere. We may just have to shut down theater.
Or the Watcher out. Yeah.
Yeah. And unless, I mean, if you were to say help the Bureau, if we could, you might be able to provide some insight into ways that maybe theater could still be allowed to happen. in a safer, under safer, stricter rules and such. I mean, only if you're interested in working for the Bureau. I mean, if not, I don't know what you're going to do because there's not going to be any theater, so that's not going to be your job anymore. So, yeah, just let us know by the end of the weekend if you'd like to accept a position with the Bureau, and we can proceed from there.
Did the Watcher themselves reach out to you to influence your decision, or did you make it on your own? Were they like, if you don't do this, I'm out, so do it?
I don't think it was that direct, because then that would, I think then Bastion would have felt great. Like, he actually talks directly to me. This is great. I don't think it was anything quite so affirming that would let Bastion know that he had such a direct and good relationship with the Watcher. But I think there were hints.
Mhm.
Yeah, things like subtle things would start to go wrong with the show, and then he'd think about taking that. Suddenly, you hear that voice from the Bureau person about taking the job, and then things would be okay again. And he'd be, oh, huh. And then so he also thought it would. He definitely knew that it would please the Watcher. And so, due to all the success of the show, he kind of felt like we finally broken the string of disappointments. And as usual, he just saw it as an opportunity. He thought like, okay, well, that'd be good. I'll be in with the Bureau, and then I'll be able to work things from within and make it good for the Watcher and for me and for
From the inside. It
Yeah,
always
yeah,
works.
totally.
Awesome.
That's how I got conscripted.
To the Suicide Squad. Cool. So you are doing that. You are rejecting the Rot offer. You're also rejecting the Ashen Circle offer. I think when our afflicted friend senses that you are rejecting the Sprawls, I think both Ren and Hugh kind of feel that tickle in the back of your brain as well. I think your attention is drawn to the interaction between Sebastian and this wretch crawling towards the elevator,
no.
crawling away from Sebastian now. And they're not physically, or mentally beckoning to you in any way, but you do feel like they might be a source of power. Not Zeph. You don't. you're flush with electricity right now. Does either Ren or Hugh approach this opportunity?
So the idea is both of us sense that this is powerful, that it's not a conscious thing, I guess, or
Yeah, it's like, oh, this person is special somehow, and might have something to offer.
The plague guy.
The plague.
Sorry,
guy.
there was a tiny bunny that was trying to run around me.
Yeah, the person afflicted, the other person afflicted with concrete rot.
Oh no. No, I don't really feel like I kind of feel like Hugh is in a headspace of get away from the powerful things right now.
Mm-hmm. And this guy's clearly suffering, Ren.
Yeah, I think Ren is not in the same headspace as Hugh. So he's
like almost to the elevator now, so he's right by you. And I think as he's crawling into the elevator that is partially like has got a few inches of concrete in it, and as his like one hand goes into the wet concrete, again, like they've got the bandage around their eyes, and it feels like they're looking at you even though their head hasn't turned. And their other hand reaches out towards you.
Yeah, I think Ren reaches towards them Um, so sorry, as a player, does Ren know how people get the concrete rot?
It's spores that are just floating around everywhere.
Okay, it's not a
Anyone near the
choice.
building could get it. Y'all have remember when you all took the assignment, you said how your deities are protecting you in different ways.
Oh yeah.
So you are pretty sure that you are not likely to get the rot unless you somehow speak it into existence upon yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ren kind of grabs, like kneels down to them and says, well, I can't claim to know how you feel, as I have not been in the exact same situation, but I do know what it feels like to feel that pieces of you are missing, that life is just a choice between different forms of suffering, one worse than the last, and that we are not offered very many good options. So, if I could give you a gift, if it would be helpful, if I could ease your suffering, please let me know.
And they reach out and draw a prayer mark on your forehead. And they say, oh no, the gift is yours. And they turn back to the elevator, drag themselves all the way in. And as they do, the concrete that was poured in there turns to dust and starts filtering through the floor. And the elevator doors close. Ren now has the ritual of the Skyward Sprawl. When you call on the power of the Skyward Sprawl, roll with communion. And I will tell you what happens if you decide to do that at some point.
Fucking hell, yeah.
You have concrete roll with advantage, but
Fuck.
I can give you some of that.
No.
Time to make out with Sebastian.
pretty. Great. So, whew, that happened. The lobby is clearer now. There are still folks, running around, but a lot of them have run up the stairs to launch another offensive on the Dreamers. The elevator has closed up, and I think the when the doors close, it's kind of like the only two of you will understand the doll in the miniature golf game. Like when you look it's there, and you look away, and then it's just a wall.
Oh
But
no.
away, it's still the elevator doors until someone's like, "What? Oh fuck! There's a wall." Like for each person, like your perception of it kind of shifts until they were never there, basically.
Ah.
What would you like to do? You have one, two, three, four. You have 6 clues for this if you'd like to do theorize.
Oh yeah, that would be even with the middle setting, right?
Or you could do something else.
Hmm. And so in the lobby, we've still got like bits of rebar growing out of the ground.
Yeah.
Have impaled some people. Um, and I assume if I look more closely at where the elevator was, I just see nothing of
Yeah.
use.
It's always been like it's worn as if
Yeah.
as if it has been there for years. The wall.
Mort probably pecks at the wall a little bit.
I worked really hard to do that.
I had all the buttons pressed.
And Sebastian, you still feel drawn upwards.
Oh no. Can we see the prayer mark on Ren's head?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's drawn in concrete dust.
I think Hugh notices that and kind of points and kind of can't quite verbalize a question. It's just sort of like, wow.
No, hell if I know.
Yeah. Yeah, Hugh at this point has the disoriented condition,
Oh yeah, that's right.
which
you-
makes staring at that wall fun.
Yeah.
And
As-
then seeing Ren have a prayer mark now. What is happening?
yeah. As you're staring at the wall,
Yeah.
do you remember when you became disoriented?
Oh, geez. It might have been when I was talking to the Slack King guy,
Yeah. So
pretending to be a investigator
Yeah,
when I am
so-
an investigator.
you gave the failed speech about the investigator.
Yeah.
And so Hugh remembers giving the speech and then staring at the wall. You
Oh no.
lost the time in between there.
I checked to see if I've used my anesthetic prayer mark.
Yeah, it may have accidentally worn off on you when you learned it a little bit.
Oh no.
So you might get a time skip occasionally.
That's fair. I'm sure nothing important happened in the
Yeah.
meantime.
Yeah, and so like, you went from talking to this guy to like a clusterfuck in the
Well,
elevator.
looking at the wall first,
Yeah.
and then turning around. Oh, that's odd. I'm looking at him. Oh my god.
A guy impaled in rebar, still
Yeah.
moving around next to you.
Like what is it? Shaun of the Dead shot.
Yep.
Oh, we're fine. Oh
Definitely
no.
messing with electricity. Yeah, and that's why you're disoriented.
Oh man, I'm having a day.
Yeah, would you like to do a theorize move or answer a question?
Yeah, I'm okay with answering why is the sprawl going or just destroying the place.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way is yeah.
Fuck this place.
This place.
Yeah, yeah. If we're gonna have a freewheeling discussion, I think one of the first things, Zeph says is going to be like, we should just destroy the body, right?
And she was like, wait, what just happened here?
Fuck this.
Or I don't know, maybe he was like, I don't know how much time skipped. Maybe I can kind of bluff my way through this.
If you let it be known, they can fill you in. But yeah, that's up to you to
It
whether you
doesn't seem like Hugh.
That's true.
totally.
Well, I
okay.
think it's a moment of like, oh, I'm staring at a wall, and then it becomes more as it becomes more and more clear. Like
And
it probably
maybe-
becomes like as soon as he clocks the rebar, he's
Or maybe
That's-
Grover like repeats things so much that you get caught up anyway. Grover just like kind of repeats the last thing someone has said
No,
before. And
Grover,
you're like,
no.
you know, someone just said that, Grover.
Two
It
questions.
actually updates Hugh.
And Grover says it back like he's telling you something that you don't know.
Like, yes, that's what I just told you, man.
Oh man.
You have a question, Heath?
Two questions. One, do I know, like I know the first solution says if you destroy the body, the building will rapidly rot and collapse as soon as the assignment ends.
True.
Do I know, or if that will that also get rid of my concrete rot?
I think the concrete rot's just a regular condition that needs to be gotten rid of anyway.
Oh yeah, I can do that in many ways. And the second thing is, am I correct in assuming that that option would be the most pleasing to the watcher?
Oh, destroying this place? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think almost most gods are in favor of destroying other gods.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to
Many are.
do.
Yeah, Hope is still deep undercover. She's working on her. Wow, you've got the rot so realistic. I don't know how you do that.
Oh no.
Look, friends, I think one thing that we all have in common here, across, we all struggle with our faith. I've been struggling because once again, I feel the disappointment of the Watcher looming over me, and that makes me angry and frustrated. But I know that we each walk our own path. The Maiden, the Scrivener, St. Electric. But the thing that has made us strong over our journey is everything that we have in common. And the one glaring, blinding thing I can see that we all have in common right now is that destroying this place would make every single one of our gods very happy.
You nodding with a put on look of thoughtfulness. That's clearly what we've learned right now.
I remember that. I remember talking about that. Yep.
And I think that it has become clear from our investigations that brokering peace between these two factions does not seem like an option. And in just figuring out why it's growing, how does that help anyone? We go back to the Bureau and we say, yeah, we know why it's growing. This is why. It's still growing.
And I think Hugh is just kind of blinking and confused, and so it's like, but the Slag King hasn't been able to tear this down. Or is the Slag King trying to destroy this place? Is anyone trying to destroy this place?
I think they are trying to return it to like the way they want it, or
The specs.
yeah, return. I think, and as you're saying those words, Sebastian, like you are a good actor, so you are able to say them convincingly. But there's something inside of you. But maybe we can control it.
I mean, that's in line with my ego.
I'm sure the rot has nothing to do with it.
Oh, no. I do think this is where, like, my blind... I feel like I just placed this. I feel like Sebastian and the Watcher. Sebastian is very much Charlie Brown and the Watcher's Lucy with the football. Sebastian always comes back for another go.
Mm-hmm.
The eternal hope. This time, it's going to be different. So I think that's what's helping him, like, focus through the pull of the rot and everything. But it's certainly not clear. It's not easy. There's still a part of him that's like,
It's not easy.
know.
Yeah.
This other path feels pretty good too.
Just climb to the top of the thing and
I think that's partially why he's trying to convince everybody else of this as well. Is
oh yeah.
that will help buoy him, because like if everybody wants to destroy it, then it's like then he won't be able to like be like, well, maybe we should do this other
A way
thing.
to destroy it easier from the top, though. Like,
It's true. Destroy from within. I mean, it's probably
yeah.
the weakest point is probably at the top. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, if we join the Dreamers, it'll be way easier to take them down from the inside. That's
Yeah. That's a valid tactic. Me.
always works.
Yeah, and so how do we know that that I guess we just, because we know from corpses and hallowing that finding the hallowed corpse will let us destroy
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's what is, keeping the building up and causing this problem,
Oh yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, I'm all for freewheeling discussion.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so we're gonna destroy this building. Thanks, Sebastian, for clarifying that for us. What do we know so far?
Your clues do all kind of point to why it is like the second one, but
Oh,
you do what you like.
I mean, what I don't know. Maybe it's too metagamey, but like, I don't know. Can we take over this place as our headquarters?
I mean, if you can
mean-
control the sprawl, that's
Yeah.
and if Zeph is pondering this out loud, Ren, you get the feeling that you can.
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
well, the floating market will become a vertical market. Every floor given over to a different vendor. With a giant warbird on top.
Why float in the river when you can float in the air?
Yeah, that's the ultimate float.
Yeah, get up as high as possible.
Yeah, in the clouds.
Can we get that? And we'll get that plant god from our first mission.
Let's get everything.
Install
fuck.
it.
Get the
like-
band back together.
Yeah.
Forgot about that guy.
Yeah. A real Ocean's 11 scenario. There.
Let's see. So the clues we have are excavation saints slowly turning into actual construction equipment, rebar that's actually a bone, is it bone that's turned into metal or vice versa, pruning
You need
shears,
to
they're
stop
all
punching
twisted.
him.
Pruning shears are all twisted, rusty, and branching. The seal of the Saint Electric circuit board defaced and corrupted. Founders crumpled up blueprints in the trash can and bloodstained, and rebar growing from the ground like roots making a prayer mark.
Hmm. So it feels like the rebar roots and the pruning shears are kind of indicating tree-like growth on this thing.
Definitely organic, yeah.
Wow, we've defeated a plant thing before. I forgot how. Well, if plants need anything, it's um nutrients and sunlight and water.
You have
And not too much or not too little in any of these things.
a
So
pretty good idea of what the nutrients are in the
I'm
basement.
pretty sure we know what the nutrients are.
um, and on this seems like such a cheat, but we have the blueprint for the building.
You do.
Oh, I didn't even mean to
So it's like, well,
give myself a clue that was
oh, but if we want to solve why it's growing like this, I guess that's a different thing. Sorry, I was thinking about.
I wonder if
tearing
the
it down
blueprint
again.
is of it like it doesn't look like that anymore
Mm,
Yeah.
the
and gives hints to like how it has grown
yeah,
organically.
and the moves do explicitly say the clue cannot conclusively answer the question marks. It gets me like, "Done. Got it."
Fair.
That answers it, and the rest are irrelevant. Done. What if can we just mark all clues as irrelevant? No. None of these have anything to do with it, and here's the answer.
Oh man. So what was question 2 again? Why is the sprawl growing?
Mhm.
Okay.
Which it feels like we have a pretty good answer to already. Just need to work the clues into it.
I mean, the idea that it's gathering up bodies and growing like a tree.
Sebastian's compulsion to go to the top, and most likely join the pile.
Oh, okay.
Probably answers some part of that.
Hmm. So like that's how that's how the organism, I guess, is gathering more material,
Yeah,
is
like
by
infecting
sending
people
out
with
spores
spores.
and getting people to jump off the top of it. So that would explain rebar that's turning into, or bone that's turning into rebar. I think the branching pruning shears are just another example of like physical objects getting seized by this and turning into this sort of organic growth. Yeah, and rebar growing like roots is in there as well. So that leaves the excavation saints turning into construction equipment. The blueprint, I think, yeah, I think Nick explained that as like we can see the contrast between how it started
Mm.
and what it's doing now.
Is the blueprint kind of like accidentally kind of like has like vascular structures in it, and that kind of like tipped it over to being able to do that?
I was wondering if one of the founders put in like notes of like this allows for growth.
Oh shit, yeah, that's great.
And then like a little prayer mark or something.
Fantastic. And what about the seal of Saint Electric on a circuit board, defaced and corrupted?
Um, I think that was probably part of the electronics in the building.
Mm.
And you can feel it kind of rejecting the presence of other gods,
Oh yeah, like they're
corrupting it.
purposely getting the influence of other gods out to allow this one to grow more.
Yeah, as it grows more and more, it's like forcing out or it's
Yeah,
corrupting all of the things in there.
yeah, rejecting the bad organs.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ooh, man.
That's 6 for 6, so that's an even roll.
May I try the roll?
You may.
So that's 2d6 plus nothing.
Yep.
And rolling.
12.
4.
Yikes. Cool.
I am so good.
Worst theory ever.
That's a bad theory.
Sorry.
On a miss, the answer is incorrect, and the keeper reacts. How does the keeper react to that?
Be nice.
I don't think we're gonna react nicely. Um,
The king appears.
yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Okay, it's a bad theory.
I think as you've been discussing this, you've kind of been focused on the group discussion, like piecing the other pieces, like feeling how brilliant you are. Cool.
Yeah.
Break. Let's do it. You look around the lobby and it's silent. The doorways to the stairwells, or where there were doorways to the stairwells, are walls. The front doors have also been replaced by walls. And the lobby feels smaller.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure this is fine.
And you hear the music that was playing in the elevator playing over the speaker that was amplifying what's his name's voice?
Oh, the
Monger, yeah. It feels like the building has heard what you're trying to put together and is like now actively reacting against you, like it is trying to contain this cancer that's invaded it now.
What's my forehead thing do?
Oh, great question.
I feel like that's a good time to use my forehead thing.
Would you like to
Skyward sprawl.
Skyward sprawl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how Rin became queen, or what's your monarch title of the Skyward Sprawl? Regent of the Skyward Sprawl.
Cool. You're gonna roll with communion. I'm gonna let you do this roll, and we can talk about what happens when it succeeds or fails.
Yeah, no idea.
You all still can all mark a verse to bump it up to the next level if you want to.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get us out of this claustrophobic hellscape.
So go ahead and roll with communion.
Okay, I rolled 3 and a 6. 9 plus 3 is 12.
9 plus 3 is 12. Ooh, okay.
Let's ride this building like a rocket ship.
Cool.
Time to get in the glass elevator, Charlie.
Tell
You
me
own
what
the
it
chocolate
looks like.
factory.
Tell me how you're communing with the Skyward Sprawl. What's it look like?
Um, I think it looks to the outsider like Ren is like measuring and leveling things.
Mm.
And is like communicating via like dimensions of the space. It's like measuring the wall, like making sure things are level.
And you feel the sprawl reacting to you immediately as it's and you feel it as well. Like you're the one who's like, oh, we have clearly made ourselves a threat and it is reacting to us. But it knows that I'm communing with it now. And
Good news is
and the good news is steel and concrete begins to rise from the ground at your command. Choose 2 of these things. The sprawl performs a useful service. The infectious gray spores of the sprawl remain dormant for now, and you are able to convince the sprawl to dissipate. Choose 2 of those.
2 of those. Yeah. Well, I definitely want to get rid of the rot for Sebastian. That is the dormants. Would that get rid of the concrete rot for him?
Yeah, let's say I will.
Okay. And then I would like for it to dissipate.
Okay.
Like, your work here's done.
I'm gonna let you do that. I am gonna say that this will not complete the mission. It will eliminate the threat, but this mission will no longer be able to be completed.
Oh, okay. What do we think?
Completable.
We'll do that if you want to.
Oh, man. Well, what will we get for completing the mission?
The usual
XP.
rewards, XP.
Objects.
There's a few. One of you can take this this thing again. The rewards available are artwork, concrete, a side character joining you.
That guy from the rebar guy.
Rebar guy.
An elixir that dissolves concrete. This cool skill. And
So under normal circumstances, will we just then theorize again and make another roll?
So you could, if you don't want to spend a verse to bump it up,
Right.
you would have to come up with a different theory and make
Right.
or you can dissipate the sprawl, resolve the situation, and walk away from it. Which, if anyone has subverting your instructions,
Oh man,
that is
Up to y'all. Like, I'm happy to be like, that was a silly place. Or I could just take care of the rot and what was the other thing? Have it do a favor for us?
Yeah, have it perform a useful service.
Yeah, and then we could keep going.
So yeah, the options are destroy the threat without resolving it, do a new theory and try and resolve it a different way, or write a verse and make your theory work.
I'm a fan of option 2 myself, but I'm not
what was option
strongly.
2 again?
Retheorize.
New theory.
So we would actually still solve it.
But we still have the problem of the room squishing us, right?
Yeah, maybe I ask it to get us out of there.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna, I'll say
That works
like,
for me.
okay, we're not a threat. Could you get us out of here? And then also like please stop infecting people
For now.
for now.
Yeah.
Cool. Pretty please.
How does it open up to you? What orifices does it generate in the lobby for you?
Oh, I think in my mind it like brought us it we were like in like a vesicle and it's just been like squishing us up. And I wonder if it put us on the roof.
Oh, you can have it do that. You can
Oh
definitely
no.
if you want. That'll make
Is that
Sebastian
bad?
really happy. No, that's not bad at
I
all.
mean, I just want to see I do want to see what's up there also. As a player, I'm like, we haven't talked to those guys yet.
Yeah, yeah. If you want it to do that, it'll do that. That's a thing you can tell it to do.
Sure. Yeah. I just have it like kind of bloop us up onto the
Mhm. And so I think that what it feels like to everyone is you're in a very slow elevator. Like I think for Sebastian, it feels like relief a little bit, like as you're rising, like this tension is just melting off of you. You're just
but
feeling
his spores are
as,
inactive right now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, so I think when it opens up onto the roof, there's the moment when Sebastian is like, time to jump. But you feel the spores leave your body and your skin heal up. And it's just like it's weird because like you still have the makeup on, but it just like looks fake now because you actually had the real thing on underneath you. And like you like almost take a step towards the edge, and then you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Bad
I think
idea.
I removed my makeup at that point as well. I'm like, I think we don't need this anymore. We don't need that anymore. We're just gonna.
So you can take
Back in
Peppery
the
Rot
kit.
off your condition if you like.
Yes, I do like.
What is on the roof? Um, yeah, so the roof is it's weird, man. So it's not flat like the building, like the roof of a regular high rise would be. But it still has the same sort of like equipment, like has like HVAC vents and all the ducting and stuff, but it's all grown like really weirdly and organically. And like things that would normally be like steel or aluminum are like formed out of concrete. And it's all like jiggity jaggedy. It's a very organic shape on the top, like a
Worth it just to see this.
kind of like the top of a rotted out post. You know how that looks like?
The top of what?
Like a post that's rotted out.
Oh no.
Yeah. But it's like it's grown into that shape. Um, and yeah, it kind of mushrooms out a little bit on the sides, so it's like almost like a water drop that's been frozen. But there you are, very high up. What would you like to do?
Let's see.
Oh, and I'll unmark all those clues because you can use them again.
Yeah.
Let's say, shall we have another freewheeling discussion?
Well, I was gonna ask if I can I see anything interesting about how it's grown into the ground from this perspective?
Um,
Or any disturbances to the
the
nearby?
way it's kind of splayed out a little bit, you can't really see the base of the building from the top.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, is there a way to
I mean, you
finagle
could
with
like dangle yourself over, but I think that would be
vitality
yeah,
or presence? Yeah,
that would be a vitality roll for sure.
yeah. Is there any sign of it continuing to grow at the apex here?
Ooh, is this the apial node? I think there's not. I think you get the feeling that it is kind of like being pushed up from
Oh,
low.
from below.
Like it's
Okay.
not growing from the tip, it's growing along the stem.
Well, yeah, I guess that stands to reason if the tree theory was wrong. Cool.
But there you are on the roof.
So freewheeling
important
discussion
note.
about how it's not growing like a tree.
Important to note, there is no obvious way inside from here.
One
I think
problem at a time.
Yeah. Well, I think that red is like, I don't know if it's a plant. I think it's more like an animal. Or maybe even a fungus. But doesn't seem like a plant.
Didn't feel like a plant.
Doesn't feel like a plant. Yeah.
Well, why not both? So,
Funny.
yeah.
Don't bite my butt.
What if it grows in the way it needs to? Well, whatever the limitations or constraints on it at the time are.
And what if we look back into this destruction theory?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you do that one and then we can get render roll 10 plus again, that would do it.
So we only need 4 to explain where the body is, right? That's what we're trying to do, where the hallowed corpse
I
of these-
mean, yeah, however many clues we get, that gives us more and more of an advantage.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Technically, you only need 2, but
So yeah, still using all 6 would be great if we could. I got you. I mean, I think the fact that the seal of the Saint Electric on a circuit board defaced and corrupted, I think that points to something like maybe, maybe it's like down in like an electrical or utility room or something, and it doesn't like the electricity, so it kind of like ejected and
Like-
corrupted the Saint Electric.
so from what you know about the description, like the Saint was installed to kind of manage the building, like make everyone comfortable,
Yeah,
temperature, play music when people wanted to. So it makes sense that it might be like maybe they installed the Saint in like a control center kind of thing.
exactly.
And as it developed, it kind of either took over or corrupted the stuff that it was attached to.
I'm definitely thinking like, every building usually has like a utility room in the
Yeah.
basement or something.
Yeah, where did we find that seal? The Saint Electric
That
seal?
was in the flesh pile in the basement.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that would be
Every building has one of those.
Yeah.
the locus. Yeah.
Laundry room, HVAC, flesh pile.
And the fact
mean, I
that
think-
rebar is growing from the ground like roots, I think that's also an indicator it's probably somewhere on the ground level and everything's trying to reach upward toward the top, but it's all reaching from the bottom
Mm.
because that's probably where the origin is.
I mean, if you want to use the blueprint, you can give yourself a pointer from there.
Yeah.
That
And what's
at
this
least
room that
indicates-
says
Oh, I mean,
crypt,
yeah.
crypt of the building master? What?
I mean, I think that one is a gimme if you're going for the where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And what else do we have?
I think the twisted, rusty branching pruning shears, maybe that's because like, they obviously they don't want the location to be obvious. And so I think naturally a lot of things try to grow from the body's origin place outward. And so they try to like trim that up around so it's not obvious like, oh, it's all coming from that room. Look, all the vines and shit are coming out of there.
Yeah. So,
So
they
they
were
try to-
using those pruning shears a whole lot, and then the
Got
pruning
infected
shears-
while they're trying to,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
To try to conceal that like it's in that room. It's like, no, look, perfectly normal utility door or whatever. There's not shit growing out of there. Trim, 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 trim.
I mean, concrete's so hard.
Pruning shears. And that leaves us with excavation stains slowly turning into construction equipment and rebar that is turning into bone or vice versa.
And you're rolling even right now, so
I think the rebar that's bone metal reverse, I think that's, I mean, that seems very just a representative, obviously, because I mean, the Saint, it is like a person and a building melding into one.
Yeah, and I think the excavation saints maybe. I imagine that when they are doing these construction projects, they calibrate how they call upon the divine power to make sure this doesn't happen.
mm,
That you don't just that you end up with an actual useful saint and not just a machine.
oh yeah.
And I think that's just kind of an indication of the shoddy work that went into this that made this accident possible.
So maybe we're saying that one's pointing at like a non-standard location for
Hmm?
since we're trying to find a
Oh,
location.
right. I'm sorry. I completely blanked on the.
Oh yeah, I guess-
Yeah, like you
Absolutely.
wouldn't normally put the body in this location.
yeah. How is the rebar that's actually a bone pointing at the
Oh,
location?
geez.
I think that where did we find that? Do you remember?
That was, I think that was
Outside?
outside from like
Yeah,
a.
that was before we got to flesh
I just think that that's probably some of the stuff that was trimmed off. That was the reason it's both is because it's from the Saint, who's both person and building, and so that was like some of the weird shit that had grown that they had to prune with the shears.
Oh, and maybe like what the rebar looks like might give you an idea of where in the building it came from.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Check that
roll a
against
+2 there.
the blueprints.
Yeah. That's a roll with +2.
Yeah, maybe it was like waterlogged looking and it had been in the basement or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Oh yeah.
guess
The-
I'll roll this one.
And the thing you're answering is where in the building is it?
Yes.
So and where exactly do you want it to be?
I mean, open, but my
Opposite side of where we are.
yeah, my gut is like like a basement utility electrical room.
Okay. Cool. Roll it.
Wow.
Here he comes, big 12. Here he comes. Come on, 9.
That's a 9. That'll do. You are correct.
Oh, actually 11 with the pluses.
Oh yeah, 11 with pluses. Great. Then you're
Even more correct.
even more correct. That's not correct. Great. The answer is correct, and an opportunity can be pursued. Yeah. So you're sure that's where it is. That is answered. Blammo. Those are all used. Boom, boom, boom.
Let's fucking take this place down.
Yeah. So now you are convinced that the thing that you have to get to destroy the building is in the basement.
So obviously, the quickest way to the basement is to jump.
Yes, clearly.
Shouldn't have gone to the roof. Sorry.
But
We did need to go here to find this out.
Sorry, I still have some concrete rot impulses in my brain. Sorry.
Oh, no.
you.
So jumping, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's the quickest way down. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I can act my way out of a
Yeah.
giant fall.
Depends how fast you can act.
And we've burned our one call on the power of the Skyward Sprawl.
Oh no, you can do as much as you want.
Oh,
Great. Great power.
Oh, why are we walking? Let's
Just
never
press
walk
that button whenever
again.
you want. No
Oh,
problem.
basement, you said?
no downside to this at all.
I don't see how this could go wrong.
Hey, Sprawl, can you take us to the basement so that we can destroy you?
Bro, we haven't had lunch yet.
That is a useful service. The sprawl will do that for you. Would you like to call on the sprawl again?
Call on the sprawl. Call on the sprawl.
Okay, that's a roll with.
Sprawl
I'm
call.
not sure. I mean, does it make sense?
So you're the one that has to do it. You're the one with power.
I'm not sure narratively why we might do that, but
Well, the other part of that question is, does anyone have any other way that we're going to get off the fucking roof? That's the question.
I did put us here, so maybe it's my job.
If calling on the power of the Skyward, if you call on the Skyward Sprawl to get into a situation, Probably the best way out of it.
Yeah, I think that
There are
Ren is
many
just
ways
like,
off of a roof that aren't just jumping or using magic. But yeah, you
well,
do what you like. I'm definitely in favor of you keeping pounding on that button. Nothing.
yeah, I want to keep pressing the button. You
Yeah,
gave it
there's
to me.
and you said there's no exit from the roof, right? There's no
Uh,
door or
You do
anything.
not see any. It looks like it's kind of just like concrete. Yeah.
But wait,
Actually,
we
Yeah.
do
could we-
know that there's an express elevator.
also I have I could actually use a skill, I think.
Ooh.
What?
1 second. As
This
it is
doesn't
written,
matter.
when you write about a side character or location, mark ink and tell the keeper a single detail about your subject that is not true.
Mm.
So theoretically, I could mark ink and say there's a utility elevator, there's a freight elevator at the roof that goes all the way to the basement.
Mhm.
Maybe. Unless you
Yeah.
want to, I mean, Nick, if you want to do the call on that again, that's also cool.
I'm happy either way. Or maybe there's like a fire escape stairs we could take on the outside.
And that's your last ink, right?
That would be my last thing, so I'd have to go on a mission to get fungus at that point.
I don't mind calling on the sprawl again. It does seem
What is the worst that could happen? He said.
We already saw the worst that can happen.
Fair.
yeah, I think Ren is like, well, maybe you could just ask the building again.
Yep, whenever you want to do that, roll with communion.
Let's go. All right, 3, 4 plus 3 is 9.
You didn't become the absolute captain of communion for nothing.
I
Is that
know.
9 or 10?
Oh, it's a 10. Sorry.
It's a 10,
not
okay.
9.
Cool.
I forgot how to add.
So,
I'm
yeah.
so used to leaning on the building for doing things for me.
Choose to from again. The sprawl performs useful service. The infectious gray spores of the sprawl remain dormant for now, or you are able to convince the sprawl to dissipate.
It dissipates, then we just fall, or like. Okay, I want to go to the basement. If I don't re-up the no spores thing.
I mean, you might as well, because the other option was we can't solve the thing because we make this
Yeah.
sprawl go away.
Oh no, I mean
Let's
now
keep
that
this-
now that you've answered the question, like your resolve the assignment is destroy or remove the body.
Oh.
That will do it. That will definitely do it.
Oh, maybe we could just say like, hey,
Oh.
could you not?
You want to do spores and dissipate then?
Yeah, spores and just, and I think I'm gonna like approach it like letting it die, like being like,
Oh.
hey, I think the lady is ready to see you.
That's perfect.
It's
Oh.
you've always been. Where's my prayer?
This is Rin's ultimate purpose.
Yeah, like this is the place. You've always been. This has always been the place. You were always walking towards this moment. We were always waiting for you here. The soil will swallow you. The roots will tear at you. Foxes and flies will bear you away. There's nothing left to hold on to. There's nowhere left to go. There's no need to worry anymore. Stop biting my legs, please.
Is that part of your prayer?
Yes.
Totally.
Bunnies and foxes will bear you away.
Honey.
I don't
That sounded
remember the
like part of the
prayer.
prayer.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is
Cool. So the spores will remain inactive for now.
bad little bunny.
And the sprawl will begin to dissipate. I think. Ooh, man. Okay. Cool.
While we're on it. While we're
Yeah,
on the
while you're
roof.
it, number one. That's a thing. And I think,
Well,
I think because of the way this is happening, everyone kind of sees this, and it's unclear how real it is because it is unreal looking. I think what it looks like is it looks like there's a woman on the horizon, and I don't think anyone but Ren has seen her before, right? There's a woman, and she's got veils and like a shroud, and she's on the horizon, and it looks like she's walking towards you, and it's clear that as the concrete starts to crumble, this woman is very large, 20 stories tall, walking towards the building. And it is this just massive shrouded figure. And all of you can feel this, it's like this very powerful calm radiate off of her. And she gets to the building, and her eye level is eye level with Ren. He's staring at the top of the building. And she kneels down and reaches her hand through the side wall of the building into the basement and pulls what used to be a person out. They are run through, like rebar has grown out of their bones. They're just like, as she pulled out, like wires stretch and snap. And she just holds it in her hand and closes it, and after a moment opens it, and it's gone. And she begins to fade. And as she's fading, you feel the building give way and start to topple. I think that's where we'll end it today.
Oops.
Oopsie. Great. But you resolved the thing. that's that. Cool. End of session. Collect rewards if an assignment was resolved. It was. I will paste the rewards into
He
chat,
might be dead.
but you'll have stuff. There was a clue that you could get if you did the last one, but you don't get it.
Oh.
See, I knew it.
I knew there was a special thing.
Always a reason to do the last one.
The Slag King would owe you a favor.
Oh.
That sounds like not a helpful thing.
You really want.
It's okay. This one felt better anyway.
How long do I have this magical power? I guess I don't anymore.
Well, it only works on the Skyward Sprawl, so you have it as long as you want, but there's nothing to use it on anymore.
Skyward Sprawl is dead.
So at your leisure, pick through those rewards. Answer end of session questions. Let's start with Ren.
Oh. Well, I completed an assignment.
Hooray!
I engaged with a god.
Oh,
Right? I got zapped by lightning. I talked to a building a couple times.
Kaiju Maiden came out.
Kaiju maiden. Yeah, some shit happened. I was vulnerable with the little plague person.
Mm.
And I didn't struggle with my personal faith because the maiden kept coming through for me this time. So kind of didn't have a chance to be like, she doesn't love me, because she kept showing up.
Yeah. Cool,
That's three for me.
and that's your last advancement, right?
Oh, fuck. It is.
Why do anything anymore?
I know. No, bunny.
Like
Cool.
no more monologues from me for you guys.
Zeph, what do you have for us?
Completed an assignment. Engaged with a god. I did try to struggle with my personal faith, but again,
Yep, just too good.
they're just that connection is too strong. And I did go out of my way to connect with the local community.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and ended up electrocuting a bunch of them also. So,
Yeah, you definitely.
I mean, I went out of my way to electrocute them. It's not like
I think the building
like
ate a bunch of them too while you were. Yeah. I think that building ate a lot of Slag King. The good building killed a bunch of people. Not your problem though. Sebastian.
Yes, I did all the things,
Did
which
all the
means I advanced, and I have one extra. Not that it matters because I only have one
That's your last advance too. Yeah, custom journey.
advancement. Yeah, and I got to remember to use hope more. I could have used hope as a thing.
Oh.
I didn't use Grover for anything.
as much as we wanted to. And you.
Yeah, I think I completed the assignment with everyone else. Weirdly didn't find a chance to monologue. Don't think I really engaged directly with a god or angel. I'm trying to think.
It's not.
Yeah, there was just usual stuff with, yeah, I just interacted with an elevator mainly and with people.
For sure.
Um, but I did weirdly go out of my way to connect with the local community because it's like, let's go up the elevator, let's go talk to this guy. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. So that gives me another banked advancement
Awesome.
and looping around to one checkbox on my XP.
Cool. We'll start stars and wishes with Peter.
Oh, sure. Stars for Mark for the just abject horror of the Slug King acolyte melting himself with molten steel. And just like there was a strong sense of like the fuck it condition of like us getting ourselves into interesting trouble, I think.
Mhm.
I loved kind of what was it, screwing up the solution and winding up on the roof of the building.
Yeah.
So a star for Nick for that, just because that as a set piece was really wonderful. And yeah, I mean, just like this is a star for everyone of just like really digging into a sense of place on this one. I felt like I'm sure it's like designed in the setup, but getting such a stronger and stronger sense of exactly how this place is creepy
Mhm.
and both in quiet moments and in the big dramatic action pieces that happen there. Things I am looking forward to. I want to figure out what my journey move is this week, and then get that additional faith move. I would like to see us kind of keep. Maybe we could have like a tab in the character keeper for all of our hangers on right now that can give us advantage on things. I think we could have a lot of fun leaning on them a whole bunch as we trundle along. And yeah, I'm eager to see how I'm assuming we'll start seeing stuff from we'll start seeing the conspiracy enter in the main
Oh yeah.
thing here.
Conspiracy is the chat.
Yeah, so I'm eager to see how this segues into the end game.
Cool.
And I think that's it for me.
Sweet. Thank you.
Good game all.
Heath.
Yes, I definitely stars for Nick's resolution of that case. I was just like perfect. That was awesome and big and felt good. And the usual stars all around. Everybody's always so interesting to listen to and watch and play with. And wishes using. Remember to use hope more. Just note to self. We left. One of my plans is to. I'm saying this just so I don't forget. We all hear it. Maybe we can all not forget. I was going to use my paper thing that can.
Paper angel.
I remember I had a plan from the market because we had to find like a new person to be the
Guardian, yeah.
the guardian, and I thought I could summon Carl back.
You definitely can.
Who last we saw was in a very weird state of being.
Yeah.
But he seemed like a perfect subject to become the new guardian because he's already kind of weird and mutated. And
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to see Carl. whether you call him or not.
So I think that's about it.
Cool. Ben.
Yeah, stars Mark for keeping the horror going, for finally breaking us of our need to befriend everyone. Yeah, stars for Heath's immune system. Hope it's working out. Yeah, no. Yeah, stars for everyone. Yeah. Like getting us into interesting trouble. And I was gonna say getting out, but actually no, we're still in interesting trouble. From like, yeah, no, just all that. I'm curious about the Slag King's scars on his face.
Oh yeah, that was from drinking the molten steel.
Right. But that only came up. I'm just curious. Just out of curious, it's not really a star. That's my wish. I wish to know if I hadn't asked about breakfast, what would have happened?
Mm.
Would have it worked out somehow? Anyway, no. So yes, stars for everyone as usual. The characters. I'm a little brain tired now. Thing. Words not come. Stars for people, wishes, more people next week. I think that's it for me.
And Nick.
Yeah, echoing what others said. Big star for this game and for Mark, because I came in and I was like, I don't have any ideas. I'm literally gonna just sit in the background of the first scene because it's a move, and because I don't know what to do. But all of our characters are so well developed now that it makes, like, once we have a really rich environment like this, it's really nice to be like, oh, there's a dead person, I'm gonna go comfort them. And then when the plague person came through, I was like, okay, that seems like something Ren would do. And yeah, from there it just was like, okay, cool. Now I have a little like Care Bear stare I can use. So that the game is nice for that. I love the environment. Yeah, that moment with the molten steel. Fuck. I also wish to remember that I have objects and can use more. I don't think I used them once to not die from electrocution, I think. And yeah, I think all the other stuff been said. I really enjoy everyone playing their characters, and the questions are interesting for me because this time I did pay attention to them and recognize when I couldn't do them, so that was neat. And my brain's also dead, so I'm gonna pass it to you, Mark.
Did you have any wishes?
I wish for yeah, I would like to wrap up the other ones, even though I don't want to go back to that hospital. Yeah. Yeah, my wishes were to remember I had objects and stuff.
Remember. Great. Yeah, this was super fun. I also went in with no idea of what was going to go on. It's like, here's a couple things you can try. Let's see what happens. And so much stuff happened. Stars for everyone like pressing their buttons really hard and also kind of just like running headlong into doom. Marking off versus is great. There's 2 more assignments before the conspiracy shows up, and one of my wishes is to see someone pop off their final move at some point. I can't wait to see the destruction that happens there. I don't know how that will work with player playing stuff after that. Maybe jump into a follower, but we'll see when it happens. But yeah, I want to see stuff explode at some point. And yeah, great use of all your abilities and everything. It felt like y'all are like really good at doing the stuff you do, and it still makes things awful, which is great. Yeah, the drinking the steel, that's like a thing from his past. And when you failed that role, I was just like, I guess he's gonna show you I guess he's gonna show you that thing now. This is just a thing he does. It's a party trick. Like gets him psyched up. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so wish to see some stuff explode. I'm also eager to see the conspiracy stuff starting to come together. I'm excited to see Carl come back. That's gonna be a good time. And we're gonna start off with a journey move probably, so that'll be interesting there.
Oh yeah, I can get that custom journey move set up for next time.
Novice Timber in the rewards is someone that you did not meet. You visited 2 of the 6 locations and met 3 of the 7 people in his place, which is like world record for resolving an assignment. I think pretty great. But yeah, like there's so much to dig into in each location. It's not like, oh well, there's nothing to do unless you do all the stuff. So that was pretty cool. Did that. What was I saying? I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Oh, Novice Timber. Novice Timber was something that you didn't meet. I think if you are going to choose that one, it's going to be the guy that got impaled, the Sly King guy instead. So we'll make up a name for him. And oh, I pasted that last one. Is if you have reached an understanding with the building, which you didn't really. So I think that one's off the table as well.
Yeah.
Ren is the only one with that move. Glitch to the roof. Yep. Not a 3-bar. Yeah, that's a great one. Cool. Anything else before we say goodbye to the internet?
Good.
Goodbye to the internet.